Welcome back. It's What We're Talking About, podcasting exclusively from livingonsports.com. What we're talking about right now, NBA trade deadline happening very shortly. The trade that went down today, the Clippers getting Marcus Camby, which helps replace the loss of Greg Oden in return.
And Joel Przybilla.
Yes. I didn't want to pronounce his last name, so I'm glad you did.
Thank you.
In return, the Clippers got Steve Blake and forward Travis Outlaw. So, what do you think of this trade? Because I really don't think it's that big of a deal, because the last time I remember Marcus Camby doing anything of significance, it was when he was with the Knicks back in '99 and they played in the finals.
I didn't notice today, second in the league in rebounds right now.
That's impressive.
That is something I think in itself, because their top two centers when the season started are out for the rest of the season. They're a very good team with a lot of talent. Steve Blake.
You're talking about the Clippers?
No, I'm sorry, the Blazers.
Okay.
So I think adding Marcus Camby to the equation is just huge for them, because Blake was not really that good. They have Andre Miller and Jared Bayless to play point now. Brandon Roy, who was a top 10 player in the league. LaMarcus Aldridge is really good.
And the Clippers still have Chris Kaman.
Yeah, and the Clippers, they were overworked with Kaman and Camby. I mean, they play the same position, play the same style. And had Blake Griffin been there, he would have gone sooner. But I think it was the right move for the Clippers to make. And I think it's ultimately really going to help the Blazers.
Well, and I mean, the real reason that the Clippers made this move is because they're preparing for the big run of 2010, the free agent class. I tend to believe nobody's going anywhere.
Really?
I tend to think Wade's staying in Miami.
Oh, I think Wade's going to stay in Miami. I think Bosch is going to be out of Toronto, though.
But Bosch may be the one that goes, but the thing is, he's not going to be able to make any more money anywhere else. So wherever he goes, it's going to be for less money than he would make if he stayed. And it's got to be to a big-time championship contender, or else there's no real reason for him to leave.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I don't know Toronto's whole salary room right now. So do they have? Can they give him the max deal?
Yeah. Well, the bottom line is, over the long haul, since there is the collective bargaining agreement coming up, Bosch would be leaving about $30 million on the table throughout not in one lump sum, but throughout the time.
Okay. Well, I still think he'll go somewhere. I think that Bosch will probably end up in Miami with Wade. I think that those two together would be really good. And Wade's doing a lot to try to get people down there. Maybe take a couple dollars less and play together and win a championship.
I think that would be good. Now, what about this Amari Stoudemire talk? It's been coming up the last few days that the Cavs may be making a run at Amari Stoudemire. I don't see that happening either. I think that's a foolish move for the Cavs, because you're giving up a lot of young talent. Amari's contract is up at the end of the year, and there's no guarantee that he's going to resign with them. Plus, you still got to deal with LeBron. Now, everybody says that bringing in Amari would help LeBron and make him happier. But if you're the Cavs, you're the best team in the league right now. Why would you want to make a trade anyway?
That's what I don't get. They've won 14 straight, and they're looking at Amari, and they're also looking at Anton Jamison still.
It's like, what more do you want?
They're looking at trading like J.J. Hickson and Zydrunas Ilgauskas and a pick.
And see, I think it's a shame to give up J.J. Hickson because he's so young. I heard Chris Broussard say the other day, he may end up being better than Amari.
Right, and I think the biggest problem with that is, all right, at the end of the season, Amari walks away from the Cavs, LeBron walks away from the Cavs, and Shaq's expired contract.
Then you're done, Cleveland.
You're back to before you drafted him.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think bartering away Hickson's the smartest move. But also, maybe if they can trade Shaq for Jamison and Mike Miller, that would not be a bad move for them to make, because he's gone anyway, and Jamison will be around. And the more players that LeBron has to play with, I think the better for the Cavs.
Now, moving on to, whoa, there went the microphone. Moving on to college basketball. Some big upsets this weekend. Nova fell.
The Big East is taking a hit right now.
Well, and see, the Big East
top 10 Big East teams.
The Big East is just so dang crowded with so many good teams.
Easily the best conference in the country this year.
It's tough. Even better than the Big 12?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, buddy. I don't know. The top part of the Big East may be better than the entire Big 12, but the bottom part of the Big East ain't so great.
No, it's not so great. But at the same time, Nebraska, Colorado, I don't know. I think you look at it, though, you got Syracuse top 10, Villanova top 10, Georgetown top 10. Outside of that, you got UConn and Louisville, who are going to cause some damage. You got, who else is ranked in there? I said West Virginia.
You said Georgetown.
Said Georgetown.
Okay, all right.
Cuse,
all right.
Villanova.
Well, run with that.
Okay.
Kansas State, Texas A&M. I'm saying it's pretty even.
I just don't. All right, I think Kansas is better than any team in the Big East. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But I think West Virginia, Syracuse,
I think Texas is coming
Villanova.
back. Don't sleep on Texas.
I think those three teams themselves could beat Texas and everyone else in that league.
I think Texas is coming back.
I think they can come back.
They put the hurt on Nebraska this weekend, a 40-point victory. They got Mizzou
Tomorrow.
at Mizzou on Wednesday.
That's going to be a big game for them.
That's going to be a big game for them, too. And if Mizzou's going to get them, now would be the time to get them. But I think Texas, after that 40-point win, come on, bring it.
No, I think Texas is doing a lot better, but I just think that the top of the Big East and even the middle of the pack is so much stronger. And you can say the bottom is worse than the Big 12, but they have 16 teams compared to 12. I mean,
and that's what I'm saying. That's why it's tough to compare.
I just think the Big East is better, and the Big 12 is the second best year, which I did not think would be the case coming into the season. And the ACC is abysmal.
The ACC is just awful right now.
Right now, ESPN has one lock, and that's Duke.
And Maryland. Maryland's not even that good.
No, Duke, Maryland.
Don't get me
Wake.
started on Gravis Vasquez because, that guy just drives me up the freaking wall.
She went pro last year like he said he would.
I think it's time for him to graduate already. Seriously, can we get somebody to check his birth certificate? The other big news in college basketball, the UConn women, will they ever lose a game? 65 straight wins now. Unbelievable.
I don't think they'll lose this season. They held the previous record at 73. I think they're easily going to break that.
It's just unbelievable. They are so good. And, you look at, I saw the interview with Gino Auriemma going in at halftime, and they were up by 2. And he said, I'm really concerned about our offense right now. That's not good. But they ended up winning by like 23.
Yeah, they've won by double digits in this whole thing. And it's interesting to me because they were debating on PTI whether that win was bigger last night over Oklahoma or the men's win yesterday over Villanova at Villanova. And I don't think it's even close. I think that UConn women has just so much more talent going into every game as double-digit favorites. It's just no question.
The bottom line is, I heard somebody say, the main difference, UConn has Maya Moore and nobody else does.
Yeah.
She is unbelievable.
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, I think that's really the difference in women's college basketball. If you have that one great player and a good supporting cast, you can do it. Men's, Kevin Durant was able to do it. Michael Beasley wasn't able to do it. The list can go on and on. You need a good team. But women's, it's the Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi.
Well, and see, that's the thing. I think it's because of those great players who stay 4 years during the women's game.
Right. I mean,
nobody's going to stay.
No reason to go pro early. The only person I can ever think of going early was Candace Parker.
Right.
And it was good for her because she was going to get big money because she was the marquee player, won MVP, won Rookie of the Year, and got these sponsorship deals being the top woman player.
Right. I mean, but I just don't think that in college basketball, and I wrote this down earlier too, I don't think you're ever going to see another team go undefeated because of the 1 year deal. They're only going to be there for a year.
Yeah, it's too hard to get chemistry, to get some veteran leaders, anything like that when you have such a young team. I mean, even Kentucky, number 2 right now, starts 3 freshmen, 1 sophomore, and 1 junior.
And by the end of the year, 3 freshmen are going to be gone.
And probably the junior.
Yeah, so you don't have that consistency that you had back when UCLA went on 88 straight wins.
Right. It's just, you're not going to see that.
The only way you're going to have that is in the women's game.
I mean, if you can get another Fab 5 situation, maybe you can run the table one season. You'll be stuck with nothing in the next season, but maybe I think had Calipari stayed at Memphis with Xavier Henry, DeMarcus Cousins, John Wall, Eric Bledsoe, and the guys already there, he could have probably done it. Being in the CUSA,
being in Conference USA, yes,
and playing he played Kansas, and that would have been a tough one. That would have been the make or break right there. But I think had they gone undefeated in the regular season, beating Kansas, beating Tennessee, no one would have stopped them in the NCAA tournament.
But that's everybody had said that before.
Yeah, when they had the one loss to Tennessee,
right? Because the deal is they never got challenged in the regular season, which was why.
Right. So I don't know. I'd be surprised if it happened, but at the same time, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, everyone was saying we'll never see an undefeated NFL team, and we probably would have seen 2 if the Colts had not rested their starters this year.
True. Oh, come on. You can't tell me that resting their starters is what lost them the Super Bowl.
No, I don't think they lost in the Super Bowl. I just think they would have had an undefeated. Oh, I'm sorry.
Undefeated regular season.
Right,
okay.
I'm sorry.
All right.
I meant to say that part, yes.
Okay.
No, I don't think it made a difference in the Super Bowl.
I got you. Hey, coming up, kickers getting fatter, pitchers getting richer. That's all next. That's what we're talking about.